Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today in this webinar. My name is Tina, and I'm the Talent Manager at About IT. Today we will be discussing the evolution of recruitment and talent management. So let's get started, and we'll kick off with recruitment. So what is recruitment? Recruitment refers to the process whereby a candidate is attracted, screened, and selected for a job, either by a recruiter or employer. This process has continued for decades. In fact, the history of recruitment is almost as old as the history of civilization itself. For example, in ancient Egypt and China, workers were handpicked to complete massive undertakings for the Great Pyramids and Great Wall. However, development of technology has affected the way in which the process has been carried out from decade to decade. The current recruitment industry is an environment of radical transformation and new and innovative recruiting trends. From the time that humans first began creating businesses, people have been working on ways to be more effective and efficient in recruitment. In the 21st century, of course, most of a company's recruitment efforts take place online. The recruiting and hiring landscape have undergone massive changes in recent years. The emergence of new technology has revolutionized the way recruiters hire and professionals find new career opportunities. Originally, recruiters worked for the job seekers and not for the actual companies looking for new talent. Thanks to the economic growth in the early 1970s, companies began to outsource their recruitment efforts to recruitment agencies in order to reduce their cost to hire. It is during this time that recruiters started using community bulletin boards to advertise open positions. By the 1980s, the main place for advertising available positions became the local newspapers. With the rise of the internet, job boards and recruitment sites replaced classified ads as the center of recruitment efforts, this leading to the recruitment landscape we know today. Let's explore a few ways in which recruitment has evolved. Firstly, compensation versus culture and employer brand. Companies need to establish a positive brand and culture to attract and retain the best candidates. Then they need to ensure that they hire the best candidates whose skills and personality match that culture. 92% of candidates would consider leaving their jobs to move to a company with a great culture and excellent reputation. Companies that invest in branding are 3 times more likely to make a good quality hire. Although compensation and benefits are one of the main reasons why employees move between companies, a great culture and excellent working conditions trump salaries in many instances. Employees stay with companies where they feel valued, appreciated, and challenged. They need to know that their opinions matter and they have freedom to express new ideas or initiatives. In the ever-evolving digital space, companies need to ensure that they keep up with the latest technology trends. They will almost always lose their most skilled technical resources to competing businesses who invest and use the latest technology available in the market. So don't delay or don't be afraid to explore and consider changing or updating your current systems and tools. Secondly, job board postings versus engaging on multiple platforms. The days of placing an ad in the local newspaper and waiting for the perfect candidate to apply are long over. It is now time to reach out to those talented individuals and engage with them on the platforms they use every day. 67% of people seeking for employment use online job boards to apply for jobs. 78% of those individuals say they would rather apply for a job using their smartphone. Applicants seeking jobs versus jobs seeking applicants. With multiple companies vying for the best candidates, recruiters must stop relying on these candidates to come to them. Be proactive in your search. 90% of professionals are open to new opportunities, but only 1 in 3 of these are actually on the job market. Be sure to provide a clear value proposition. 86% of recruiters believe that candidates are now in control of the job market. There is a definite shortage of skills versus demand at the moment, especially in the digital space. You as a recruiter need to make sure you create a good and lasting first impression and provide a positive interview experience. 80 to 90% of candidates say the first initial contact with the recruiter can sway their opinion about a company. Some examples of platforms where actively seeking employees list their CVs are PNet, Career Junctions, Career24, Glassdoor, Indeed, and LinkedIn. And finally, busy work versus automation and data-driven recruitment. Recruiting software provides key metrics and allows recruiters to focus on the work that makes a real impact. Therefore, recruitment will never be 100% automated. The human connection and interaction is key in presenting a company and pitching an opportunity to a potential candidate. Providing a positive candidate experience secures top talent. In conclusion, throughout the history of recruitment, one aspect has remained the same. It is continuously changing. The attracting, screening, and selection of candidates in whatever circumstance or period, using whichever tools available, has always had the same purpose: hiring a candidate for a job. The environment in which this has taken place has been changing and evolving since 1940 and will continue to do so. Even though the recruitment industry is always evolving and it could be an entirely different environment by 2020, as long as recruiters can adapt and use these changes to their benefit as a tool to enhance their skills and resources, they will continue to be successful, and even more so, just like they have for the past 70 years. Now let's take a look at talent management. So what is talent management exactly? Talent management refers to the anticipation of required human capital for an organization and the planning to meet those needs. Talent management is the science of using strategic human resource planning to improve business value and to make it possible for companies and organizations to reach their goals. Everything done to recruit, retain, develop, reward, and make people perform forms part of the talent management as well as strategic workforce planning. A talent management strategy should link to business strategy to function more appropriately. So this is the typical flow of a talent management process. Firstly, you have workforce planning. This is where companies ensure access to future and current human capital. Secondly, recruitment, as I discussed previously. Number 3, onboarding. This is the integration of new employees into an organization. Fourthly, you have performance management. This provides feedback, accountability, and documentation for performance outcomes. In the 5th place, you have training and performance support, followed by succession planning, which is the identification and training of new leaders. Then you have compensation and benefits, and lastly, critical skills gap analysis. This is the analysis of what critical skills are missing in your organization and what you can do to obtain it. HR technology follows industry technology and social trends. Companies started to automate the forms used in human resources in the early 2000s. The arrival of applicant tracking systems, learning management systems, and performance management systems were growing exponentially, resulting in the development of these talent management tools. The goal was to integrate talent practices around competencies. If we could build an integrated system based on the actual job and competencies needed for each job, we could more effectively and accurately select the right talent, set the appropriate goals for recognition and promotion, create clearer and accurate career paths based on actual individual competency levels, design solutions for succession management, pay for performance, and all the rest. It was a great and exciting vision, and the word integrated was at its core. New heads of talent and senior HR business partners was often hired to manage all of this. So software vendors started building these integrated suites. We had a decade of acquisitions, and companies like Cornerstone, Taleo, Oracle, and SAP all jumped on board. Many of the standalone applicant tracking, learning management, and performance management software companies went away. The focus was limited. Topics like employee engagement, experience, and diversity were left on the side. But it wasn't a big issue at the time, so we left these features out. As the market for suites heated up, numerous acquisitions took place. SAP acquired SuccessFactors, Oracle acquired Taleo, Skillsoft acquired SumTotal, ADP acquired Workspace, and all the other vendors were left looking for buyers. A few vendors like Cornerstone, Skillsoft, and Saba were big enough to grow and bought others. Others started to struggle, and many were later acquired. Here comes the recession, the cloud. Demanding for integrated talent management systems is quickly diminishing. Organization requires solutions focused around the actual talent experience. Around 2008, the whole market changed. We had a massive recession, and the idea of buying expensive HR software to integrate everything was shelved. Companies started to look at an optimization and not integration, and we started focusing on making our current talent practices more efficient, effective, and do it at the lowest possible cost. When the iPhone was introduced and platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube took off, companies were still figuring out how to stop spending more money and how to manage HR in a more focused way. The idea of using mobile and social media emerged. The HR industry took yet another turn. A company called Workday launched the idea of a born-in-the-cloud HCM system and changed the market completely. The company showed us a new vision, an integrated cloud-based platform that was cheaper to buy, cheaper to operate, and easier to use. We suddenly wanted systems of engagement and not just systems of record keeping. Social, mobile, and analytics were the next big thing. Digital transformation leading to the employee experience. Somewhere around 2012, businesses started working on digital transformation, and leaders became more focused on digital skills and agile transformation. They were looking for new ways of managing jobs and careers. LinkedIn, Indeed, and Glassdoor transformed the recruiting market, so HR departments became focused on company culture, employee engagement, and employment brand. Today, after almost 12 years of economic growth, almost 40% of the workforce is independent, and the talent issues are evolved. Companies must compete to find the best talent, create transparency and mobility, develop a growth mindset, and build a culture of trust, inclusion, and fairness. Given the level of employee stress and businesses' focus on productivity and well-being, everyone has become focused on the employee experience. Most employees' experience with HR has not been great. It is now the talent department's priority to fix these problems, and integrated talent management now have to take place behind the scenes. Companies are facing real problems. If employees don't find the work experience compelling or challenging, they will complain, they'll post something negative online, or they'll just resign. Companies have to upgrade all of its HR software and practices so it's useful, productive, user-friendly, and most of all, meaningful, which is why the shift from systems of engagement to systems of productivity is so important. Hence the start of the talent experience systems. The new HR is now focusing on improving employees' work, life, and careers, and not just automating HR. People don't work for one company their whole career. They move, they transition, and consult. 2/3 of Zennials, or Generation Z, now consult on multiple projects simultaneously with different companies. Employees want to learn all the time. They want easy access to the topics they learn, and they want to be in control of what they learn. People work in teams, so they want goals that are simple, transparent, and easy to update. Employees don't just want great leave benefits. They want well-being programs and help with their personal and financial fitness. When we decide who to promote, we want the system to tell us who has the best skill and who is most likely to succeed. And then we want to give that person an opportunity, regardless of their age, gender, or duration with the company. Because jobs are changing faster than we can keep up, job descriptions and competencies have all but become irrelevant. Do we really need them when the work we perform keeps changing? We want systems and data to tell us what capabilities are most needed, and then AI-based tools to tell people how to perform. HP has recently revealed they did away with job titles, so people no longer mind changing roles as the company's needs change. We must focus on simplicity and productivity. Radical change in technology market. We thought the cloud-based HCM system was a solution, but we now realize it's just a platform. We wanted fewer HR systems, but now we have more, but they are far better integrated. We used to look for big, reputable vendors. Today we look for stable core platform, and we look to buy from many innovative vendors. We used to integrate systems on the back end. Today we integrate them on the front end for better user experience. So what are a few of the benefits of the talent experience systems? They are employee-centric. Often the system starts with a user profile like LinkedIn or Facebook, and from there includes tips, nudges, activity streams, and activities based on employee journeys and important work activities. They use nudges, videos, short messages, suggestions, chat, and mobile interfaces to communicate. While these systems still need forms and tabs to capture data, more and more of their design is conversational, so it can fit into the flow of work. Most of them have interfaces to email, Slack, Microsoft Teams, and other messaging systems. They require no training. Unlike ERP systems, these systems are walk up and use. They often start with a simple walkthrough, or they just work as is without lots of customization. They are focused. Unlike the integrated talent management systems that tried to do everything, these systems do one thing very well. They can all input data from your ERP or Active Directory to get access to user information, but they don't try to replicate or replace any of your HCM or ERP system. This makes them highly functional and innovative. They are cloud from the ground up. They were built with cloud architectures, so they are very adaptable. And most of them have well-developed mobile apps, not just responsive interfaces. They are replaceable. Most of these systems don't require massive ERP-like implementations. They may take months to implement and quarters to learn how to use, but they are essentially replicable because they work in focused areas. They are truly experience design. They feel like journeys. They are fun and enjoyable to use, and they bring people together. So what does this mean to HR leaders in the market? We've moved into a new space and era. It's no longer good enough to buy an integrated HR suite and expect your organization, culture, or employee experience to transform. Today, we need to really focus on how we improve employees' lives, jobs, and productivity. By using design thinking, agile, journey maps, and co-creation of solutions that work for people. The desperate need for integrated talent management has all but fallen away, replaced by a desire for talent experience solutions. I would like to thank you for joining me today on this webinar. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email us directly at info@aboutitgroup.co.za. Have a wonderful day.